Hi everyone, this is Susie from Minnesota Zone 4 and this is my first video for 2018. Just letting you guys know that I still have a lot to do. Definitely about a month behind in chores, getting everything cleaned up. I still have to clean out my pots, dig up the grass. There are some areas that are very messy. I have to trim my shrubs here. This is my dappled willow. That looks really good. My heuchera, not so much. I have to trim all of that up. I was just seeing what was green. There's a little bit there. We had a horrible winter. It's been a long time since we've had one like that. Unfortunately, we got the snow a little too late. And I mean, a lot, but December, January, beginning of February were so cold, like negative 10, 15, so, and we didn't have the snow coverage. And I think that's why my heuchera looks like that. But yeah, I have to trim all these up. Kind of maintain a certain form, I don't know. So that's what everything looks like in the front. There's not a whole lot coming up right now either. Of course, the snow on the mountain. That always does good. I don't think anything can really kill it. This is my new area. I haven't done anything with it yet. The ground is still pretty cold. We've had some nice temps, I'm not complaining, but I think the leaves are keeping it cold a little bit more. That's fine. I'm not ready to plant. I'm far from it. I just have so much to do. I'm sorry about the wind. I feel like every time I want a video, it's windy. And they weren't even predicting a windy day. It'll probably stop when I'm done videoing. Hostas are just poking out. Like I said, not much. Solomon seal is starting. It's those pink tips in there. That just came out I would say a couple days ago. Like I said, we have to be about 4 weeks behind. And it's also out of bounds. That's okay. I love Solomon seal. Just coming around this side. It's my honeysuckle bush. These hostas look really good just because they're on the south side of the house and it's definitely a warm place. So this is always the first stuff to merge. My peony. I'm thinking about moving this. It gets sun in the spring because none of my trees have leaves yet, but later in the season it's okay. I think it would do better in a sunnier spot. So I'm not sure what I want to do. I know the best time to dig up a peony and plant it is fall. So we'll see. Again, I'm so sorry about the wind. My bleeding heart, I just saw this today. I have blossoms. I've been emptying out some of my pots. I'm getting ready. A couple weeks, at least a couple weeks. A safe time for Minnesota for planting is the middle of May, if not kind of the end. My goat's beard is coming up. That looks really good. And a little droopy. Maybe that's just some new growth. So I would say 3 weeks ago, maybe 4, we had 2 feet of snow dumped on us. It was bad. Like I said, the winter, it was just horrible all around. But since then, we haven't had any rain. So I think that's why things aren't emerging. Some in substance. Look at the size of those. One of my favorite hostas. I think it's just because it's tough. And here, this is my black snakeroot, or Cimicifuga. It's funny how the leaves are green when it emerges, but as it matures, it turns kind of a purpley black. Where are they? I don't know if you can see those. I have some smaller hostas. I think this one over here is a curly fry hosta. I have 3 planted, but I'm thinking over in this spot, the Sum and Substance crowded. Oh, I know that's not the curly fries. It would be in here. I think the Sum and Substance covered it and killed it. So I'll have to watch that. If the leaves are getting too big, I might have to move all these smaller ones to a different area. Let's see. I have my rain barrel set up. So fingers crossed the next, let's say 2 days, we're supposed to get rain. And then on the weekend, it definitely needs it. Have these pots all cleaned up. That's my little pond. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that this year or maybe look for a bigger container. But the grass is just starting to grow. I have dogs, so I deal with this every year. That's why there are areas in the backyard. Okay, so last year Trevor had the Thailand giant elephant ear in him. I won't do that again because it took me an hour to get it out. Unfortunately, I couldn't save it, but I did not want to break this pot. But it actually rooted through the drainage hole, and I couldn't even lift Trevor. So yeah, that was a lot of work. I think I pulled a muscle. These hostas, I've been kind of looking every day. Nothing. I had about a foot of mulch on all of it. I know some are coming up, some are not. The hardest thing about hostas is, of course, they're shade lovers. And you usually plant them around trees because that's where it's shady. But when you have a tree this size, all the way up. And then look at the root system that it produces. Very shallow roots. So this area, I'm probably going to have to water every day. And I have a feeling that when they do come up, they're going to be a little small just because I'm sure it sucks all of the moisture out. Last year, we had such a dry summer too. Didn't get all the rain until fall. And then it was too wet and I couldn't plant any tulips. So a little bummed about that, but not really since our season has just been weird. Oh, there we go. Gotta get in the picture here. Nice. I'm hoping that 75% come up because, like I said, competing with this tree, it'll be a miracle. You can see in here, there's a lot of this. Why am I drawing a blank? I'll think of it. Right now my mind is just, I'm a little overwhelmed. I have a lot to do in my garden and I feel like it's just passing by so fast. Let's see here. I gotta get under this pine tree, sorry. Ouch. Let's see. This is my climbing hydrangea. I say everybody else is climbing hydrangeas. I am just so jealous. This is, I know the bunnies love this. I don't know. I'll let it do its thing. But a little bummed. Let's see here. Have nothing growing there. Oh. Lily of the Valley. There we go. It has taken over everything. And I let it. And I just have to watch because I don't want it going into my Empress Woo. Let's see. And of course, the squirrels are just digging something fierce to come back. Okay, I gotta go underneath the pine tree again. Look at my honeysuckle vine. I am just in awe. Can't wait. Oh, I thought these had died. The lilies are coming back. They're not very big. That worries me. And then I have a hosta in here. And then everything else that you're seeing with like the red stems, that's Filipendula. And look, it is a spreader. I mean, I am a zone 4. It's very cold. So, and it's loving it. This peony looks really good. But of course, this is probably the sunniest spot back here, so. This is Vinca vine. It usually gets purple flowers, nothing yet. Sorry if you see my shadow. More hostas. Daylilies. Ooh, this looks really good. See, I'm just as surprised as you guys whenever I see things because a couple days ago it didn't look like this. So yeah, I think it's supposed to get to 82 today. Perfect. My pagoda dogwood. Sorry about the noise with my wind turbine. It's starting to get its blossoms. This is done really nicely. You know, just kind of see where I have to be careful because it kind of pokes out. So when I'm mowing and I at least expect it, I get poked. I don't want to bust it. It's one of my favorites. And let's see. This is the giant fleece flower. I wasn't sure if this was going to come back. This is a zone 5 plant. And whenever I have a zone 5 plant, I usually put at least a foot of mulch on it. It's just, I take a chance. So with this one, I did. And it looks, look at the size of this. That is huge. Very happy. More astilbe over there. Turtle head. I have some bee balm in here. This right here is wild ginger. And I'm not seeing anything on my clematis yet. I think any of them, to tell you the truth. Let me see. Let's see what these little bunnies do. They dig these holes. I'll come back and take care of that all over. They're just so destructive. And I have a clematis. Oh, yep, right there at the way bottom, if you can see that. Good, this is a new one I planted last year. So, very happy. This is another honeysuckle vine. Not doing as good as the one on the trellis, on the arch, but it's there. I got a compost sack. I have a bunch of leaves in here, and I'm kind of making a leaf mold mulch out of. Oh, finally. This is what I was hoping. This is my rhubarb. Every time I came out here, it's like the tips were broken off, and I figured something was digging. Can't wait. These are some perennials that I overwintered. I don't think this one's going to come back. It's a Shasta daisy. On the tag it said zone 4, but online it said zone 5. That's what I hate. I'm like, I wish nurseries would figure out their tags. It's like you get so happy, and I mean, like I said, on certain ones I'll take a chance. But this, something dug this up. This was one of my hellebores. And my hellebores did nothing. So, a bit bummed, but you can see this pine tree took it. A lot of winter burn. I mean, it's not a big deal because I don't know what I'm going to do with them. But this one looks really healthy. So, I always put a layer of leaves on my garden bed for the winter. Just, oh, the soil is so cold. So I'm wondering if I should pull back all of these leaves and let it warm up, or try and keep the moisture in, because, oh, I have a few tulips that I didn't take out. Don't know if they're going to do anything. But if you see these, I didn't have enough leaves. I mean, go figure, I didn't have enough leaves. But look how crumbly that, it's just, there's nothing. So that's the difference between not having leaves on and having leaves on. So again with this one. But I want my soil to warm up because I'm getting, look how nice that is. So I don't know. I'm not sure if I want to take them off or leave them on. I figure I have about another 2 weeks before I have to plant. Dun dun dun. This is the pile that I'm waiting to take to the waste site. Unfortunately, they are only open certain days of the week, and usually I'm working. So this is my next project. It's bugging me, but I think I'm going to have to tip that. We're going to get rain. But yeah, that's bugging me. And we can't burn anything because right now we're in kind of a fire warning. So I also over here have all the twigs from my yard, and I can't burn. So it's like a lot going on. I keep adding more rock to my rock garden. I think it's kind of cute. I have to put these somewhere else. These are ones that I got last year for free. Daffodils are coming up. Not much else in here. This back here is Creeping Jenny. Just kind of let it do its own thing. I pull it. It's not too bad. Ooh, this one right here. That's right. My new shrub from last year, mock orange. I was so happy when I started to see it leaf out. There's a few in there that I have to cut. They're dead, but oh, I can't wait. I hope it blooms this year. I'm trying not to make this tour too long. I know a lot of people don't like long tours. This is a tiger eye sumac. Is that not weird how it grows? I think one of these times, it'll be sad. I think it'll bust off just from the sheer weight of everything. But for the time being, I'm going to leave it. I kind of like that structure. I love the way that nature just does not grow perfectly. The Sabaria sorbifolia. This one never dies. You can see I have a lot of growth at the bottom. So I think if I wanted to, I could cut everything off and just let it grow. I'm not going to, but again, I'm a zone 4. You can see this shrub runs. And if it does that in my zone, I would say be wary if you live in a warmer climate. But I love the colors of it. When it first emerges, the leaves are pink. And I took this down by probably about a third. I'm thinking I probably could have done a little bit more, but it was okay. Primrose. And it went out of bounds. I'm like, holy cow. Look at that. Oh, I have sedum in here. more daylilies. Let's see, kind of coming to the other side here. So that is about it, not a whole lot. And then with my pots, what I'm going to do is with the smaller pots, I emptied out all the soil. That's not a big deal. With these bigger ones, I think I'm going to take out about a foot and then replenish it. I make my own soil, so hopefully that helps, but there's no way. If I had to empty that much soil every year, I would probably pay $400 for soil. Okay, I moved my fire pit. It's one of the last things I'm going to be doing, is trying to make a new place for it. I'm not sure how I want to do it, because this area right here, once I get all this brush to the waste site, I will be planting in here. So that is another project. I can't wait, because that'll be my sun garden. I think this year I'm going to give the dahlias a rest. Last year with the earwigs, it was just kind of a pain. This area right here, I had my fire pit. So there was a lot of dirt in with the rock, so I had to sift all of that out because it was too much. So right now I think I have, 6 5-gallon pails full of river rock, and that tub over there. I do not know what I'm going to do with all that rock. I will never, ever, ever, ever buy rock again. But yeah, so this is my new bed. And I purchased this online. It took like 2 minutes to set up. Very happy with it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to plant raspberries and strawberries in this bed. And I'll kind of take you on another tour with all my plants here. I have a little greenhouse that has worked wonderfully, and just have to watch when it gets really windy. Let's see, my blueberries I have to fertilize. And this is my boomerang lilac. You can see all the blossoms. It puts out the most blossoms right away in spring, and then a few throughout the season, but it still has that wonderful smell. My hydrangeas still have all the heads on them, just because I usually wait until I can see some really good growth, like right here. Because one year I didn't, I just clipped where I wanted to, and then what happened is there was no growth there, and it was down a little bit. So depending on how much I want to take it down, I don't know. But that's why the heads are still on. Look at all of the blossoms on this. Hopefully you can see this. I'm in the sun, so I'm not even sure if I'm in view. This one is a little late to emerge, but you can see there's growth on there. Lots on this one. And then this lilac. Last year had a couple blossoms on it, so I think it'll do better this year. This is the later one to bloom. And then I have my mess here. My bikes, more stuff to go to the waste site. So on the agenda today is mixing up my own soil, probably filling that bed, trimming. I have to do this in between when I work, so I'm just lots to do. By now, usually all of this is done, and I'm planning how I'm going to plant my pots. But I love it. It was so nice getting out here after all of that snow. Oh, that was a big bee. Alright, so I'm going to end the tour here. Hopefully this wasn't too long. I know it was a little boring because there's not a whole lot to see, so sorry about that. But hopefully the next tour is a little bit greener, more emerging. So I can't wait. See you next time.